Hi everyone, in this video I'll be solving Cambridge AS Level Information Technology Paper 2 Practical for the year May-June 2021. You are supplied with the following files. I have copied the files here. You work for Christine's construction company and will develop a spreadsheet to plan foundations for walls and buildings. You must use the most efficient methods to solve each task. All currency values must be in dollars with 2 decimal places. Open and examine the file j21cc.csv in a spreadsheet. So let's open the file. Edit and format the spreadsheet so it looks like this. Cells A1 to C1 and A3 to C3 are merged, have an orange background and have black text. So this is the given file. Cells A1 to C1 are merged. Let's merge and center. Also cells A3 to C3 are merged. Both of them have orange background with black text. Text is already black. In row 1 the size is 28 points and row 3 the font size is 18 points. 28 and in row 3 it is 18. Center align cells B6 to B20. Select the cells B6 to B20. It should be center aligned. Insert on the left in the footer the text created at followed by a space, then the time, then a space, the text on and followed by date. And in the right you have to insert automated file name with file path. Insert header and footer. Scroll down to the footer. On the left side, created at the current time followed by a space, on followed by current date. And on the right side you have to insert the automated file name with file path. So you can insert, click on file path, so both the file name as well as the path will be inserted. Now click on view and come back to the normal view. Save your spreadsheet as CC C1 followed by your center number and candidate number. So file save as. Inside your folder. It should be saved as CCC1 followed by your center number and candidate number. Enter a formula in cell C14 to display a blank cell if the soil type is not soft chalk or peat, or to display the text, strip foundations are not suitable for this site. So blank cell must be displayed if it is not soft chalk or peat. That means if it is soft chalk or peat, we have to display this text. Otherwise it should be a blank cell. So it is based on the code of the soil which will be entered here, and you can see the code for soft chalk is W and for peat it is P. So we will enter the formula in such a way. In C14 we have to enter the formula. We'll use any formula equals if. So if it is W, that means if it is soft chalk or P, we have to display the given text. Otherwise, we have to display a blank cell. So if it is W or P, so you will use the logical operator or if the code for the soil, if code equal to W, comma, the conditions are separated by commas, or if it is equal to P. So this is the condition, logical condition, comma. So if this is true, we have to display this text. The text must be displayed in double inverted commas, comma, otherwise it should be a blank cell. So blank cells are represented by two double inverted commas, which represents empty cell. So this is the formula which we have entered. If code equal to W or P, it will display strip foundations are not suitable. Otherwise, it will display the blank cell. So you can see the formula once more. This is the formula. Now let's see whether it's working. Let's type W here. So the text is displayed. Any other code, it's showing empty cell. If C4 is not displayed as blank, format the cell to have a red background with center aligned bold white text. So if this is not blank, it should be formatted with red fill and white text. So we need to use conditional formatting. So select this cell, go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, go for mode rules. So if it is not equal to blank, if it's not equal to blank, click on format. We need to give a white text and red fill. So this is red fill and white text. Select white color here. Okay. Go to manage rules. Here the double inverted comma is showing like this. It should be only two double inverted commas. So just edit rule. It must be only two values. So give OK. Okay. Now you can see when we enter any other code like W, which is soft chalk, this is represented in white font with red fill. It should be also center aligned, so set it as center aligned. Next, enter formulae in cells B15 to B19 to display a blank cell rather than a value if strip foundations are not suitable for a site. Strip foundations are not suitable for a site is displayed when the soil code is soft chalk or peat. That means when C14 is not blank, other codes will be displayed. If it is soft chalk or peat, then strip foundations are the text is displayed. So that means we have to display a blank cell if it is strip foundations, if this text is displayed, that means when C14 is not equal to blank, we have to display a blank cell, otherwise we will do the calculation. So first formula, in B15 you have to calculate the depth of the foundation in meters using the soil code and the soil moisture level entered by the user in column B. So soil code will be entered here and soil moisture level will be entered here. So the code is one of these values and a moisture level is W for wet and D for dry. So we will get the depth from this table based on the soil code. You have the depth for dry as well as wet. So if it is dry, it has to be from this column. That means if you consider this table, it is from the 6th column, and if it is wet, it is from the 7th column. So let's insert the formula here. First let's insert the VLOOKUP function to look up the value from this table. So equals VLOOKUP. The lookup value is the soil code and the table array is this complete table. Make sure it is absolute. Now column index is based on the soil moisture level. That means if it's W, it will be if it's W, it will be 7th, and if it is dry, it will be 6th column. So the column index, I'll use any formula here. If the moisture level, that means this is the moisture level, equals W, that means if it's wet, then it will be 7th column, otherwise it will be 6th column. And the range lookup is 0. Now the value should be displayed in meters, so this has to be divided by 1000. Now according to the question, if strip foundations are not suitable for a site, we have to display a blank cell. That means if it is, the condition we can give is if C14 is not a blank cell, we have to make sure this is also a blank cell. So let's enclose the complete VLOOKUP function inside an if formula. So we can give if C14 means this cell is not equal to blank. If it's not equal to blank means this message will be displayed. Then there should be no calculation. It should display blank cell only. So if it is not equal to a blank cell, then a blank cell must be displayed. Otherwise only the calculation should be done. So this is the calculation. So close the if formula here. So now you can see it's showing a blank cell. If I change the code, then it will show the depth in meters. So this is the formula. So what we did is if C14, that means this cell is not equal to blank. That means if it's not showing any error message, if it's showing any error message, then a blank cell will be displayed. Otherwise the calculation will be done. This is the calculation. For the calculation we used a VLOOKUP function based on the soil code, that is B10 from this table, and the column index is based on the moisture level. If it's W, 7th column, and if it's dry, it will be, or D, it will be 6th column. Since we want those in meters, we have divided it by 1000. Next one, in B16 you must calculate the width of the foundation in meters using the soil code and soil moisture level entered by the user in column B. That means it's almost similar formula here, only the column index will change. So this is my formula. So let me make this C14 absolute so that I can copy the formula, and B10 also absolute. We don't want it to change when I copy the formula. Same way B12, all these should be same for each one. So I have made it absolute. Now I'll copy this formula, paste it here. Only thing you need to make sure is we need the, in this column we need the width. So you know the width is in, if it is dry it is in 4th column, and if it is wet it is in the 5th column. So that means if it is wet it is in the 5th column, and if it otherwise it is in the 4th column. So you can just give 4 here. So it's the similar formula, only the column index will change. So only that change we have done here. So you can check the code is J, and I'll enter here W. This is wet, code is J, so J, and the moisture level is wet, so the width is 900 millimeter. So when we convert it into meters, we have divided it by 1000, 0.9. So we are getting the correct values. In B17, you must display the length of the foundation in meters. So length of the foundation will be entering here in B8. We have to display the same value. So for this also we need to always follow this condition, because they have this condition, because this has to be followed for all the values. So I'm just copying this. So in B17 we have to give equal sign. I'll paste the condition, same condition which we have done for the previous formula. So if it is not equal to blank, it will display as blank. So this has to be given for all the formulae which we are entering from B15 to B20. Now if otherwise we need to do the calculation, that means here we have to show the length. Length means it is in B8. So just click on B8 and then close the if formula. So the formula is like this. If C14 not equal to blank, it will be blank, otherwise B8. In B18, you must calculate the volume of the foundation. The volume is given by the foundation depth, width and the length. We have to find the product of depth, width and length. So equals, again the same condition, then the calculation is depth multiplied by width multiplied by length, and let's close the if formula. So this is the formula. This is for the requirement of the formula, because if any error message is displayed, it should not show any value here. Otherwise, it will calculate the volume, which is the product of depth, width and length. So if you enter any code like this W, you can see all of them will go blank here. Next is in B19, you have to calculate the volume of the concrete required. This must be the volume of the foundation plus an extra 7% to allow for spillage rounded up to 2 decimal places. This must be the volume of the foundation plus an extra 7%. So here also I'll give the formula equals if C14 not equal to blank, blank is displayed, otherwise the calculation. So the calculation is given by the the volume of the foundation plus a 7% extra for the spillage. So it will be, since it is 7%, I'll give 1.07 because 1 plus 7%, 1.07 multiplied by the volume of the foundation, and it must be rounded up to 2 decimal place. So this value has to be rounded up to 2 decimal place. So I will give a roundup function which should be rounded up to 2 decimal place. So 2. So this is the roundup function. Now let's close the if formula. So all these formula are ready from B15 to B19. The remaining part of this task from step 4 will be uploaded in another video. Please check the description for the link of the second part. Thank you for now.